Hey everyone, welcome to the Foreclosure Guy podcast. I'm Bill. If you or someone you know is facing foreclosure or you've gotten yourself into a situation you never thought you'd be in, you're not alone. I help people understand their options, avoid the scammers, and find a path to ultimately keeping their home. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Idaho Foreclosure Guy. I'm Bill Haggerty. Today I want to do a case study on CJ. CJ and her husband had a house here in Idaho. This is a unique situation. CJ had inherited the property from her mother. At some point, there was a HELOC placed on the property, a high interest HELOC, and they were unable to make the payments for several months. And the lender just said, hey, we're going to foreclose on this property if you don't get it caught up. So I met with CJ and her family. We sat down. Tensions were high because they didn't know me and I didn't know them. And they're getting bombarded with people who are offering to buy their house, even though they made it very clear, hey, this is our family's home. We have 2 children. We want to stay here. Never mind that CJ actually had grown up in that home. So when I sat down with them, I went over all the options. Can you come up with the reinstatement money? Is there something you can sell of value? Is there maybe a relative who's willing to lend you the money? At some point, it became clear that they were not going to be able to get those funds. And the amount was so small that I just said, look, I can't stand by and do nothing. They asked me if I would pay the reinstatement. And I don't normally do this, but because it was such a small amount, and I felt good about them, I paid the reinstatement amount. Now, I know there's other investors out there kind of shaking their head no at this. I just felt that it was just time to be generous and help somebody out. The lender in this situation, it was difficult getting a payoff from them and a reinstate. We got it at the last minute, basically, because if we hadn't reinstated it when we did, then they would have called the entire amount due, which means we would have to get a new loan entirely, which I don't know if we would have been able to do. So CJ and her husband are very happy, very thankful. Their children and their family are thriving in this home. And I'm glad to have been of service to this family. And yes, they are paying me back. And yes, they are current with their payments. And again, I don't normally do this, but I was feeling generous that day. So with that being said, that is the end of the case study for CJ and her husband. I'm Bill Haggerty, the Idaho Foreclosure Guy. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Hey everyone, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. If you or someone you know is facing foreclosure, don't hesitate to reach out or share this with them. Take action by liking, following, and subscribing. Thank you.